Morning everyone, welcome back to another favourites video. Sorry if there's any background noise in this video, but I've got all the windows open because it's pretty warm today, but it's so nice and sunny, which I am very happy about. I'm wearing my nice summer dress. This is Realization Par. For any of you that wonder, because I get this question a lot, I have my Realization Par dresses in a large because they come up very small. I was gifted these dresses. They are very expensive. Not sure I would spend that much of my own money on them, but they are really nice. Good if you have big boobs because they wrap around lovely summer dresses. Anyway, that has nothing to do with this video. I'm going to talk about my favourite things from this month, which again is like a mix of beauty, TV and other random stuff. Okay, so let's do the beauty first. And the first thing I want to talk about is this from Jo Malone, and it's the Blackberry and Bay Shower Oil. I've had this for quite a while. It's lasted me a really long time because you only need a tiny amount. This is a very luxurious product. You know, usually I wouldn't spend that much on a shower product, but I wanted to recommend this because I really think it's worth the money. Whenever I use this in the shower, which isn't always, kind of like special occasions, or if I shower before going out, or if I know I'm going to see people, I'll use a bit of this, and without fail I always get complimented, and I always get asked like, oh, what are you wearing, you smell so good. So it definitely lasts on the skin, which is impressive because I normally only put it on like a little bit on and then I shower it off. It's the same scent as my perfume, so it also works really well to like layer the scent, but the scent lasts really well on the skin, and it's a really lovely oil. You put it on and it kind of turns into a bit of a white milk, and I just love the smell of Blackberry and Bay. It smells really clean. Oh, it's so refreshing, so I would definitely recommend that. That would make a really nice gift as well, actually. The second product is a skincare product, and it's from Paula's Choice, which I haven't used much from Paula's Choice, and if I'm honest, the kind of packaging and branding doesn't appeal to me that much, neither does the name, but the products are really good. Caroline highly recommends them, and the best part is they're 100% fragrance free. So this is her Skin Perfecting 2% BHA liquid salicylic I can never say that word, salicylic acid. So this is a bit like the Pixi Glow Tonic. You put it on cotton wool, like on a cotton pad, and then you sweep it over your skin, and it's a chemical exfoliant. It takes off that kind of layer of dead skin, but because it's 100% fragrance free, it's no added dyes, no animal testing, it's clinically proven to be non-irritating. It's really good for sensitive skin types. I'm really enjoying using this. I only use it once a week at the moment, but it really works. I don't use like a physical exfoliator, like anything kind of gritty. I prefer something like this. This also came from my bathroom. This is something I have used for years and years and years, but I just don't think I've ever spoken about it because it's not kind of that exciting, but I just had to order some more, so I thought I would tell you guys. This is the Blender Cleanser Solid. So this is from the Beauty Blender brand, although I actually prefer the Real Techniques sponge, but this is just such a good way to clean it. I feel like a lot of you guys probably have makeup sponges but either don't clean them or don't know how. A lot of my friends, they'll finally kind of get on the sponge bandwagon, but then they'll just use the same one and never clean it. And if you think about kind of how gross it is that the sponge, you're like making it damp and you're putting it on your face and getting makeup in it, it's just going to store so much bacteria if you don't clean it. So I clean mine kind of every 2 goes. That's why I have a few, so I can kind of alternate. So you open it up and it comes like this. It's got this little kind of griddle pad thing that you can use. I don't use that, so I just put that to the side. And then what it is basically a solid bar of soap. Obviously you can use soap. These really work well for me. So what I normally do actually is just kind of keep it in the pot. I'll wet the sponge and then I'll kind of push it around in here, making sure I get all the sides, and then keep squeezing it out under the water, and it only takes a couple of goes and it really cleans the sponge as well. I've heard of some weird like microwave trick with fairy liquid, but I'm just not into it, so I really like using this. I did have the big black one that was like a charcoal one, which I finished, and I just ordered a couple more of these from Cult Beauty, and I think that's the best way to clean your sponges personally. Okay, on to makeup. Well, this is kind of like a skincare makeup hybrid. This is new from Kiehl's and I'm so into it. It's the Kiehl's Glow Formula Skin Hydrator. It says with pomegranate extract, instantly illuminates skin and provides antioxidant protection. Has it got SPF in it? No. This is basically like, it comes out a cream, like a creamy liquid, and it's a bit bronzy, so it's kind of tinted but very glowy, and I love mixing this with my Becca primer, so I'll put them both together because this one I find doesn't spread that easily over the skin, so the Becca primer kind of loosens it a bit. I'll put a pump of each and then just rub it all over my face as a primer before my foundation. You can also use this at the end and just kind of tap it onto your cheekbones, down your nose as a highlight. It's such a gorgeous, like, glowy moisturizer. If you're not into like serious highlighters, this is a really good alternative. Also, I think this would be great for mature skin types. So I think that's a really good launch from Kiehl's. Very excited about that. And then I've got a couple of makeup bits as well. This I mentioned in my last vlog. It is new from Chanel, it's part of their new Beiges collection, and it is the bronzer. I absolutely love this bronzer. It's got a mix of like mid-tones, this kind of peachy stripe that runs through it, some darker bronzes, so I just mix them all together, and I'm wearing it today, and it's just the perfect bronzer for me. It's very soft and easy to blend, and because it's slightly reddy toned, it gives you that kind of real sun-kissed bronze look, which I really like. This is definitely going to be my new favourite bronzer for the whole summer, I can just tell. And this is from It Cosmetics. Again, I'm wearing it today. I will come a little bit closer. This is the Superhero Mascara, and I think it's brilliant. It gives really gorgeous, like, fluttery lashes. They're quite thick and black, but they just give really nice shape. The bottle tube is kind of a funny shape. It's a bit big for me, but the brush is just kind of like long, and it's like not a plasticky one, it's not a big fluffy one, it's like somewhere in between. Really, really loving this mascara. I've only been using it for a few days, but I know it's going to be a favourite. Okay, on to style favourites. First of all is this necklace, which is from Missoma. This is part of the Lucy Williams collection, and I absolutely love it. I've had my eye on it for so long. Missoma sent this to me, and I'm so, so grateful because I just know I will get so much wear out of it. So I love their jewellery so much. They've got so many different necklaces and earrings. I love their earrings as well. So definitely go check out Missoma if you haven't yet. And then for style, if I had to pick one thing that's a favourite from this month, it would probably be this dress, which is from And Other Stories. I'm going to insert a photo here now of me wearing it at the BAFTAs. I went with my friend Debs and with Makeup Forever. It was a really fun night, and you guys know me, I don't like to be overdressed. I don't really like getting dressed up that much. I'd always prefer to be underdressed than overdressed, but this is kind of somewhere in between. It's red, so it's striking and it looks like you've made an effort, but the shape means that it's like a little bit more casual. It's not like super tight, it's not like floor length. It's just a really nice kind of smart casual summer dress. I'm so glad I got that from And Other Stories, so I will link that down below. And as always, if you're interested in other items of clothing that you see me wear on Instagram or wherever, check out the shop link on my blog. I will link that down below as well, and that's where I put all the clothes that I wear. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about are podcasts. I have been so into podcasts in the past month. I have been into podcasts for a year at least, but something's changed over the past couple of months for me, and instead of kind of watching videos whilst I do my makeup, I have been listening to podcasts. I just feel like I can get more done when it's just sound and it's not something I have to watch, and I don't have to keep kind of pausing it and starting it again. So when I'm doing my skincare, when I'm doing my makeup, when I'm cleaning, when I'm making the bed, I've probably got a podcast on, and I wanted to recommend a few that I've been enjoying this month. First one is The High Low, which is Dolly Alderton and Pandora Sykes, and there's just so much going on. They basically sum up pop culture and news from that week, and they give their opinion. They also interview guests on it. There seems to be so many different elements going on, but it's very well edited, so it doesn't feel overwhelming, and it's something you can definitely come back to. I really like to have that one on when I'm driving so I can concentrate, because I feel like I learn quite a lot from that podcast. They are just very clever girls who use very clever words, and I always finish the podcast and end up like Googling words to find out what they mean and then being like, interesting. So I really like that podcast. The next one is from Fern Cotton, and it's called Happy Place. The Happy Place? Your Happy Place? I think it's just Happy Place. I will link all of these down below. She interviews other kind of famous, well-known people, but with the topic of talking about mental health, and again, really interesting. I feel like her podcast is probably the most formal one that I listen to. It's very traditional, kind of old school interviewing, but she has a very calming voice, and it's nice to listen to every now and again. I really like the one she did with Tom Daley and his husband. That was a really good one. The next podcast I want to recommend is Couples Therapy. It's a brand new podcast from Casey Neistat and his wife. Candice. I forgot her name for a moment. It's really good because they just have no ulterior motive. They just want to sit and chat and be quite honest about their marriage and their feelings, and I love the kind of banter they have with each other. I love Candice. I think she is just so cool. She's so real. I feel like we would really get on and be friends. I really want to be her friend. But definitely go listen to that one if you're a Casey Neistat fan. I think you kind of hear a different side to him. And then the last one is Giovanna Fletcher's Happy Mum, Happy Baby, which is just wrapped up for the season. I haven't got a baby, I'm not a mum, but I just think it's really interesting to hear other kind of famous, well-known people talk about them at their most kind of vulnerable, raw state, and the struggles they have with motherhood, as well as the kind of bits that they enjoy and love. I feel like actually it's a really good podcast to listen to before you have kids, because it's a bit like having an older sister. I feel like I've heard a lot of these things from my sisters, but if you don't have older sisters, then I feel like these ladies on Happy Mum, Happy Baby podcast will kind of give you a bit of an insight into what it's really like to be a mum. So those are my podcast recommendations. And then to finish up this video, I want to recommend some TV shows, because I've always got so many to recommend to you guys, and this month is no different. The first one is called Save Me. Lenny James wrote the series and he also starred in it, and he is so brilliant. It's about, again, a young girl who goes missing. I feel like I watch a lot of programs like that, but this one was much better than Kiri, which is the one I recommended last month. It's, I wonder how I can explain it. His daughter goes missing, although he's never met or known his daughter because he left when she was very young. And I think for a while people think he is the one who has kidnapped his daughter, and he spends the whole time kind of proving he's not, and making his mission to find her and get her home safe. And it's so good, guys. You have to watch it. There's going to be another season, which I cannot wait for. Also, I went to the actual pub where it was filmed accidentally. I was near Broadway Market on the weekend, and my friend pointed out that the Palm Tree pub, I think that's what it's called, is from Save Me, and I went in and it looks exactly the same. It was very exciting. So that I would really recommend. Watch that first. The other program I want to recommend is Ambulance, and I tweeted last week saying how I am so obsessed with watching any programs that are to do with the UK kind of emergency systems. My words are just like not with me today. I'm obsessed with programs about the NHS, basically. I love One Born Every Minute, I love 999 What's Your Emergency, and at the moment I'm obsessed with Ambulance. Ambulance is a program where they follow the ambulance service in West Midlands, which is like kind of Birmingham area, for 2 12-hour shifts, and it's a bit like a reality TV show where they kind of show what happens during a shift of an ambulance. Rich already wants to be a paramedic. He would have made such a good paramedic. It's such a shame he didn't go into that. But it's just amazes me what these people do for a job, and it's so interesting to see the different things that they discover. So many like old people that live at home alone and kind of like fall down the stairs, and it's really heartbreaking, but also just so much like mental health. It's crazy how many of the 999 calls are to do with mental health. So it's really interesting. It's not kind of like gory and like, if you're like scared of blood and stuff, I don't really think you have to worry. It's deeper than that. So that I would really recommend. And then the final TV show is Little Boy Blue, which I actually hadn't heard of until I went to the BAFTAs, because they were nominated for quite a few, and I think they won Best Actor or something like that. Little Boy Blue is about the story of the murder of Rhys Jones, which I really remember. I don't remember how long ago it was, but I remember seeing it on the news. An 11-year-old boy got shot, and it's just a really well-made program about that. It's particularly poignant when the families are still alive. So I think they just wanted to share the story, and it was just a really good program. I definitely recommend watching it. Very sad, really heartbreaking, but very interesting as well. So those are all of my favorites. I really hope you enjoyed catching up on all the things that I've been loving this month. You know how people always say that they don't see people's videos in their subscription boxes, and I just thought that was a thing that doesn't really happen. Well, last week I noticed that I'd missed out on 4 videos from one of the channels I really love. They 100% weren't in my subscription box, and when I went to their channel they were there. So it's a thing. If you're not seeing my videos in your subscription box, you can click on the notification button, which just gives you a notification on your phone when I upload, which is only once a week, so it shouldn't annoy you too much. Or just check my channel if you want. I always put on Twitter and Instagram when I have a new video as well. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.